As we start today's episode, the quadruple is still on. We need a win in the Premier League, one of three, in order to win the Premier League title. And we need to get a result in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. Hello and welcome to episode 72 of Irons in the Fire, as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games. First of all, in the Premier League, match day 31, when we face Everton in that one, and then it's a Champions League quarter-final first leg against Real Madrid. And if we can progress in both these competitions, we are heading towards that quadruple to finish off the series. Don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me with that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the series, and also let me know what you'd like to see me do next. As I said, we are coming towards the end of this series on this one, ahead of FM25, and we'll meet FM25 together, find out what's going on, because it's going to be a complete change, and we know nothing about it as yet, albeit we are going into June. So you usually get some tidbits around about June, July time, when it gives us a bit of an idea what's going to happen. So we'll look forward to that. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It'll keep you up to date with all that's coming up in the near future with FM25. Exciting times. We have gone 49 games unbeaten. That means that today, if we can get a win against Everton, we would go 50 games unbeaten. And that would be some record. And of course, we want to progress in all the other competitions. I think we're 20-something in the Premier League. Let's see if we can find out. Can we find out? It's not in that one, Mark. It's not in that one. It's here somewhere. I can normally find it without any problem at all. Here we go. Premier League, 29 games unbeaten in the Premier League, and we're 49 games beaten in all competitions. So that is quite a performance, if I say so myself. Last time out, of course, a 1-0 win against Tottenham kept us going. We needed to win 4 games to secure that title. That's the first one down against Tottenham. The second today against Everton at Bramley Moor Dock. And then, of course, we can progress. And then the other game that we won, the unlikely one, in fact, against Manchester United. Gerard Bowen and Glock getting the goals in that one. Today, as I say, we do face Everton. We're going to face it without Ilan Mazulia, who's been our informed goalkeeper. I won't say he's got us this far, but I think he's been a big factor in it. He's got a fractured lower arm, which means it means the goalkeeper that I'm not too enamored with is going to have to go in goal. Trubin, he's going to have to be in there today, and Trubin started out way up here somewhere and he's dropped back. I think that's probably because he's not been playing, but he's going to get some game time now, and we need to see him hit some form in order to make sure that he gets us across the line in not only the Premier League but also the Champions League, of course. Not that we're going to face a big problem with Real Madrid in the ensuing match. The other players out. Joshua Wagnerman is suspended, and Marco Friedel is out with a torn hamstring. Let's have a quick look at the timelines for that. 3 weeks for 10 days to 3 weeks for Mazulia. Do you know, I thought he was longer than that. I'm sure that's changed. That was months. Oh, okay. So he may be back before the end of the season. Do you know, I would have sworn that was longer. Anyway, Marco Friedel, he's out for 7 weeks to 3 months. I know he's a long-termer, but I'm sure the fractured arm, maybe that's come down quite a bit. Right, okay, well, that's not as bad as I thought then. There's me talking in riddles there, in as much as I thought that was a long-term injury, and he was out for the rest of the season. So not as bad. Jared Braithwaite is out with a damaged knee cartilage. Well, that's where we are. Past meetings against them, we've played them 6 times. We've beaten them 5 times. The last twice at Bramley Moor Dock, 3-1 win and a 3-2 win. The 3-2 win. Beto seems to be the player that's a thorn in our side. Brent Kerr, Zuma and Todibo, the scorers in the last meeting at the Bramley Moor Dock. And last time, of course, was also in the Caribou Cup 4th round competition that we went on to win, of course. Last time we met them, Souček and Wagnerman getting the scores, 2-0 win at the London Stadium. A result today would go a long way. It would mean that we are just 2, depending on other teams, of course, just 2 results away from winning the Premier League. And let's have a quick look at the table then, just to round that up and put that into context. As you'll see, we are 15 points clear of Chelsea in second. They can get a maximum. They've got 8 games to play, 3 8s of 24, 88 points, which means that in order to secure the title, we need 88 because we have a vastly superior goal difference as well. So 88 points would pretty much do it. That is subject to Chelsea not losing, of course. If Chelsea lose, then that would make a vast amount of difference. And we'll see how it goes today. So we are top, 79. Chelsea second on 64. Manchester City have pulled themselves back up, winning 5 on the trot as it stands at the moment. They are third on 60 points. I'm thinking with 24 still available, they're probably just too far away from us to catch us. They can only get 84 points, which means that we are 5 points away from making sure that they can't catch us. Then Arsenal are in 4th on 58. And Manchester United are 5th on 57. Then come Tottenham, 6th on 55. The only bad news in the whole of this is that Everton have won their last 5 games as well, and they are currently on 50 points in 7th place. Newcastle are just outside the European places on 46. Norwich, Southampton and Luton in the drop zone. I would suggest, looking at this, it's Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Sunderland, Norwich and Southampton playing for the other 2 places. I think Luton Town are probably, well, no, I don't know. They're only 3 points adrift. It's amongst those 6, I think, for the drops. Any 3 from 6 that you prefer. Right, let's get into it. Let's get on with it. It is Everton then, and it's a Premier League match day 31 as we hopefully pick up another result against an informed Everton side. And here is the side that faces Everton in this Premier League match day 31. It's Trubin in goal for the injured Mazulia, Gomez, Kahera, Todibo and Zuma our defensive line. Samadic, Helmand and Souček in midfield. Ward-Prowse sat behind Bowen and Abraham up front on the bench today. It's Trott, Vitic, Gray, Watkins, Emerson, Gluck, Kerr, Kusufal and Kudos. Of course, we are without, as we know, Mazulia, who is injured, Wagnerman, who is suspended, Marco Friedel, who has an injury, and I think that's about it. But and we're resting Wagnerman. Not quite sure why, but we are resting him. And here we are at Bramley Moor Dock. And they are playing a 4-2-3-1 today. Sean Dyche is their manager. And 4-3-1-2, a familiar formation by now. We are first on 79. Everton 7th on 50 points. Manchester United beating Liverpool in the early game. 2-1. 32 minutes of Ward-Prowse to Helmand, Abraham, tries to chip it in. He couldn't. Kehera tidies up. Samadic. Helmand coming backwards though. Kehera has Todibo back into her own half. Helmand. Souček. Ward-Prowse is playing as that deep line playmaker today. Abraham back to Zuma. Oh, he's missed the target. Thought Zuma was going to put that away for a minute. Ward-Prowse getting forward though. Abraham couldn't do anything with it. Zuma created the space, but put it wide. They have a free kick. Vieira goes direct. Trubin, it's come back off the woodwork. And Trubin all at 6s and 7s. And that is what bothers me. It really does bother me. Trip on the edge of the area. And half-time has arrived. No more highlights. We've had 2 shots, nothing on target, 0.27, 71% of the possession. They've had 3 shots, 2 on target, 0.14 and 29% of the possession. We need to convert the possession into shots and shots on target, at least to stand a chance. Pickford over the ball, 48 minutes on the clock. That one well forward. Headed back though, but it's Zabelda. Bowen picks that up. Bowen inside of Gomez. Well played. He sort of like flicked that ball around the player. Gomez back to Bowen. Bowen has Souček there. Souček puts it away. 12th goal of the season. And on 50 minutes, we take a lead. Gomez. It was Bowen doing all the work, really. Bowen round his man. Pulled it back for Souček. Souček, he left him alone for such a long time, and he managed to find a way to put it past Pickford. We have a corner. 60 minutes on the clock. Ward-Prowse deep. Oh, Gomez was the target. He couldn't get to it. Bowen, though, tidying up. Bowen, who's given that ball away. And they're coming marauding forward. Need to try and get numbers back behind the ball. Garner chips it wide of Patterson. This is dangerous. Very dangerous, but he's gone over the top. Nana to Garner. And, Patterson deciding that he couldn't do much with it. Teed it up for Calvert-Lewin. And with 75 minutes on the clock, making one change, Oscar Gluck comes on in place of James Ward-Prowse. The other bit of news is they have made one change, and the man that caused us problems before, Beto, is on. And with 81 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes, Joe Gomez comes off. He's replaced by Emerson. And we've also taken off Kurt Zuma and replaced him with Vladimir Sufal. We have a free kick. 85 minutes on Samadic. You were just looking potentially to take off. Samadic with a free kick. Can he put this one away? If he can, it opens up a lead. It's just gone over the top though. And with 86 minutes on the clock, making another change. In fact, a final change. We are bringing on Kudos. We have taken off Lazar Samadic, who was tarring, and we've taken him off. Gluck dropping into midfield. Kudos is up there. I'm just wondering whether... Actually, it's better the other way round. So Kudos in midfield. Gluck will be up front. That is our team to see the game out. And we have succeeded. It was just 1 goal in it. A very sort of subdued affair, really. But Thomas Souček on 50 minutes, giving us the win. And it's 3 more points to our total. 50 games unbeaten in all competitions. Thomas Souček after 50, then 8 shots, 3 on target, 0.99. 67% of the possession. They had 6 shots, 2 on target, 0.65. 33% of the possession. Trubin not having too bad a game in the end, but Thomas Souček picking up player of the match. 1 key pass, 1 clear-cut chance created, and a goal to boot. Let's have a look and see how that leaves us in the table. And here are the day's results. As I said to you, Manchester United have beaten Liverpool by 2-1 in the early game. Aston Villa beating Southampton 2-1. Manchester City managing to scrape a win against Chelsea. It was an own goal in the end that separated them. Everton, of course, losing to ourselves. Arsenal beating Newcastle 3-2. Leicester beating Nottingham Forest by 1-0. Leeds United beating Brentford by 1-0. Luton and Bournemouth, Crystal Palace and Norwich play on Sunday, with Tottenham and Sunderland on Monday. Don't think there's any games there that really affect us too much. And the news is we need one more win, boys and girls. One more win to secure the Premier League title, because as it stands at the moment, having played 31 games, 7 games left to play, Chelsea can now only, having lost that game against Manchester City, can only get a maximum of 85 points, which means 3 more points would secure the title. One win, that will probably come up in the next episode. Manchester City, they can only get 84 points. So, again, a win would pass them. And it's pretty much how it stands. Arsenal can only get 82 points now if they win all their remaining games. So they just about can catch us. But it would have to be a one stonking run in and losing all the remaining 7 games, which, bearing in mind we've only lost 1 all season, doesn't feel likely. Anyway, that's how it's stacking up. 1 win away from the Premier League title. Wow. Right, you come back and join me just ahead of the game, the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. As you will see, we are playing Real Madrid. Manchester United will be playing Bayern Munich. And Manchester City playing Paris Saint-Germain. And Aston Villa are playing Barcelona. So 4 English sides in it. They've been kept separate. And as we know, if we manage to get past Real Madrid, we will face either Bayern Munich or Manchester United in the semi-final. I mean, technically, it could be an all-England semi-final, but that is yet to work itself out, of course. We'll see how that goes. The first round of games on Tuesday, Aston Villa and Manchester City at home. They're playing Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain. We'll come back with the results in just a moment. Or maybe cancel what I said just now with regards to it could be an all-England final. Barcelona beating Aston Villa 4-1 in the first leg, and Paris Saint-Germain beating Manchester City by 2-1, which means that they will both take home a lead to the second legs. I wouldn't like to go to Paris and try and retrieve that, and vice versa for Aston Villa. I think they don't want to overturn a 4-1 lead. I think it's looking awfully like Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain through to the next round, and they will face one another in that semi-final. That's not the best of results. So here we are for the Champions League quarter-final first leg. Need to try and get a result if we can. Carlo Ancelotti is the manager at Real Madrid. We've never played them before in this series, so it's an unknown quantity from that point of view. No history to go as such. Let's see if we can get a result. Anything more than a draw or something would be very good to bring them back to the London Stadium. Let's go and see. And this is the team that faces Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. A result is what we are after. Trubin continues in goal because of the injury to Mazulia. Parisi's back on the left. Upamecano and Todibo in in centre of defence. Gomez is out on the right. Samedic, Schlager and Ward-Prowse make up the midfield. Gluck is behind Kudos and Abraham front. We have Nathan Trott, Vitic, Emerson, Odebeid, Wagnerman, Zuma, Soufal, Helmand, Souček, Kerr, Bowen and Watkins all on the bench. Here we are at the Bernabeu and facing Real Madrid. Playing a 4-3-3 and we have our usual formation as the teams enter the pitch. Real Madrid playing in all white tonight. First minute and a corner from Real Madrid. Trubin drops it and it's gone out for another corner. I'm really worried about Trubin in this goal. He's a bit... Valverde. That ball comes in. It's gone over the top though. Trubin sees it out. I'm not sure if this is the first one. Trubin sort of... Luckily a boot got in there. It wasn't over the line. That was for sure. They have a free kick. Valverde. Trubin collects off the head of the Real Madrid player. And the highlight is going to continue. 27 minutes on the clock. Rolls it out to Gomez. Gomez. Oh, it's given away that ball. And we can't afford to do things like that. We've got to be a bit more professional about this. And Bellingham. Jude Bellingham comes forward. Don't give him the room. And Trubin saves it. Out quickly to Parisi. Gomez with a throw in on that far side to Abraham. Abraham trots back. Todibo. Gomez back on that wing out there. Todibo inside him. Todibo looking for a way through. Couldn't find it. Finds Upamecano. Ward-Prowse. Todibo. Todibo. Gomez. Not making much progress at the moment. Gomez goes wide looking for Parisi. Parisi to Shalaga. Samadic over the top to Kudos. And Kudos wide of the post. Had a little bit more time than he thought, I think, is what the problem here was. Samadic over the top. Kudos swipes at it. And we're through to half-time. At half-time, it's 0-0. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target, 0.70, 41% of the possession. We've had the bulk of the possession, but only 2 shots on goal, none on target, 0.41. I guess if it ends up 0-0, to take them back to our place at 0-0 isn't necessarily a bad thing. They have a corner. Valverde swings it in. It's gone in. Inacio, his 6th goal of the season, and they take the lead after 59 minutes. And I'm not sure... All I saw was Trubin go to ground. I'm not sure if it was Trubin's fault. It swung in. Oh no, he tried to get across to it. Can't really blame him for that. We have a corner now. 62 on the clock. Ward-Prowse to take this corner. It's swung in. It's swung deep. It's headed clear, but not far enough. Kudos has it. Kudos to Xavier Samadic. And it's pushed wide. I think it's a corner. It is indeed. It was going in that bottom corner. Samadic, going to be a short one. He has Gluck here. Gluck crosses it straight into the arms of Costa. We'll see it now. It's headed clear. Kudos picks it up. Kudos finds Xavier. Oh, yeah, just going in that bottom corner. A good drive from Samadic. Another corner on this near side. Samadic, another short one. Gluck has it. Gluck comes clear. He has Kudos there. Kudos! Oh, it's cleared though. Parisi will try and recycle. Parisi into the area. It's saved. Gomez. Gomez has Ward-Prowse there. Ward-Prowse. And he's given it away. But Upamecano will tidy up. And comes to nothing. Parisi. This was unlucky. It was blocked, I think. I'm not sure who blocked it in the first place. Oh, off the foot of Kudos. And I think it was Nacho, the scorer, that saved the day. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes, Gerard Bowen is on for Lazir Samadic. Kudos dropping into midfield. Gluck sat behind Bowen and Abraham and up front now looking for this way through, and we can't seem to find it. It seemed to be blocking us off. The other change that we've made is Gomez is tiring and Joshua Vagaman comes on for him. And with 77 minutes on the clock, we're making one other change. Tammy Abraham has come off. Ollie Watkins comes on as we go looking for that goal. And with 84 minutes on the clock, making our final two changes, we have taken off. We have taken off James Ward-Prowse and brought on Helmond. And the other change we've made is Mohamed Kudus is off. And we've brought on Thomas Souček. And we've lost for the first time in 51 games. A 1-0 loss at Real Madrid. They won't be too happy coming back to the London Stadium with just a 1-goal lead. Ignacio on 59 minutes. They've had 9 shots, 6 on target, 0.87, 47% of the possession. We had 6 shots, 2 of which were on target, 1.45 and 53% of the possession. We should have at least got away with a draw, and we haven't done so. And I think Diego Costa doing a good job. It's Nacho giving the Player of the Match award, but a little bit disappointing. We had the bulk of that game at their place, and all we can do is hope that we can now go and beat them at our place to set up a semi-final meeting. But who are we likely to meet in that semi-final? It was 0-0 at half-time. Let's find out. Well, before we turn to the other result in the Champions League, I can tell you Everton have beaten Arsenal by 1-0. We will check in on the Premier League first before we do anything else. And at the end of the episode, as I said, we are 1 win away from securing the title. 82 points going into the final 7 games. 21 points available, and that means that Chelsea can only get 85 points. 1 win would secure the title just literally on goal difference. So that is what we got to do. Luton Town coming up, of course, but not that means anything. They are on the bottom of the table, and we hope to get a result there. Chelsea in second on 64. Manchester City third on 63. Arsenal have played a game more than the rest of us. They are on 61 in fourth place. Manchester United 1 point behind them in fifth on 60. And Tottenham are sixth on 58. There's a 5-point gap then to Everton just outside the European places. Norwich, Southampton and Luton in the drop zone. But as I've said before, I think Bournemouth seem to be pulling away a little bit now, which is quite good. Nottingham Forest and Sunderland still in the suck zone there at the bottom of the table. Let's have a look then at the Champions League scores. And here are the other scores. Manchester United managing to get a 0-0 draw against Bayern Munich, and they must be up for that one. So it depends on how we get on in the second leg, but I'd like to think that it's looking possibly like a West Ham versus Manchester United semi-final. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Some news coming in. We have secured a Champions League place, so we can't get any lower. I'm guessing if we look at go back to the table, Mark, a quick look at the table, we can't be any lower than fourth. 21 points, 81. That is true. We can't be any lower than fourth place. Be a travesty of justice if we were to get there, really, wouldn't it? We've qualified for the Champions League. We have initial budgets for next season. The board have set an initial wage budget of £4 million for next season. What is it currently? Well, it's been tweaked up, actually. I think it was about 3. We're just a little bit overspent. So they've put it up slightly, and a transfer budget of 54 million. So looking at that, we'll need to start to set the balls in motion for that one. But we'll worry about that in future. Things still to go on here. I'll sort that out in just a moment. But our first loss in 50, first red dot in 50 odd games. The last time we lost was Liverpool in the Premier League. And that's a little bit of a disappointment. Hopefully we can turn that around in the return leg. We're going to come back for Luton Town versus Luton Town in the Premier League. 1 win away from securing the Premier League title. We may do that against Luton Town, and in which case, 2 parts of the quadruple. We need to get a result against Real Madrid in the reverse leg at the London Stadium in order to do that. And then we're coming back for an FA Cup semi-final against Manchester City, the 3rd part of the quadruple, and a game against Leicester City in the Premier League, which may by that time be immaterial, depending on what happens in the Luton game, of course. And so there we go. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Irons in the Fire and our other series at bottom to the top as they are released. New episodes of Irons in the Fire released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 here on the channel. And the best way of keeping up to date what's happening on the channel per se and finding out when new things are coming out, etc., is to follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 73. It's out on Thursday. Until then, thank you for watching. See you next time when we hope to secure the Premier League title and also get through to the semi-final of the Champions League. Join me for that. Bye-bye.